Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about what I have been doing for my fitness and nutrition program over the last 2 months. Yesterday I shared a before and after picture and said I was going to pop on today. So thank you so much for tuning in. Some of you may have seen the video that I did a couple months ago where I explained that I felt like I needed to take a bit of a break from my online programs because life was just getting too crazy. I wasn't exercising other than doing a little bit of walking. I wasn't eating as cleanly as I normally would. I was feeling really tired, partly because our littlest guy wasn't sleeping so well. And I was just feeling really conflicted because I felt like I wasn't being authentic in doing what I encourage other people to do. So I decided to take a couple months off from my online programs so that I could give myself the space to find a fitness program and create a bit more balance, whatever that is, in my life. So since then, I definitely have found a program that I really feel is going to work for me in the long term. We also hired a sleep coach to help us get our little guy on a better schedule, which made a huge difference. I won't talk about that now, but if anyone is having issues with their little person, definitely message me and I'm happy to share with you what worked for us. So thank you so much for watching today, whether it's live or whether it is on the replay. My name is Dr. Jennifer Hessler. I am a naturopathic doctor and a mom of 4, and I am passionate about helping women to more easily incorporate healthy living into their busy lives. And I know we are all so busy, no matter if we have kids or we don't have kids. I mean, there's lots going on for everybody. So I try and do this by sifting through all of the information that is out there and sharing with you what is most effective and important to focus on. So today I'm going to tell you a bit about what I've been doing over the last couple of months in terms of my fitness and my nutrition. The main things that I have been focusing on are intermittent fasting, macronutrient counting, and carb cycling with my workouts. And I'm going to talk a bit about what each of these means. I'm also going to share with you some exciting new programs that I'm going to open up registration for very soon, where I'm going to teach these fundamentals and help you have an easy way that you can do this as well. So I'm going to start with intermittent fasting. Many of you have probably heard of it. It seems to be a very popular kind of fatty thing to talk about at the moment. There are lots of different approaches to how people can do this, but basically it involves shortening the amount of time that you consume your calories. So you have a feeding window and you have a fasting window. I have been following or trying to follow a program where I am fasting for 16 hours out of the day and I eat all of my nutrients within an 8-hour frame. So typically that looks like I'm eating between the hours of 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Now, I truly believe in eating intuitively. I think it helps to have these guidelines, but if I feel hungry, then I will eat earlier or later, especially since I'm still nursing. And on that note, if anything, my milk supply has increased while I've been doing this. So it definitely is not about eating restrictively, it's just changing the window that you eat within. And I know this goes against everything that probably you've heard about before. I mean, we are told that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, that we should consume small, frequent meals throughout the day. But actually, there's a lot of really good research that shows the benefits of intermittent fasting for burning fat and maintaining, even building muscle, helps a lot with blood sugar regulation. And the quick explanation of why is that during that fasting time, your body has to burn fat for energy as opposed to relying solely on food for energy. So I was totally skeptical. I've been hearing about this for quite some time, and I don't know, finally I was like, well, I might as well try it, and I actually really like it. If there's something social going on, it's not like I'll sit there and eat nothing until exactly 11 a.m. But generally speaking, I find it's really easy. It's actually kind of convenient because our mornings are so busy getting all the kids ready and off to school. I don't have to worry about feeding myself during that time. So it's been kind of nice. I still have coffee, decaf coffee in my case, and I can still drink water, bone broth if I want to. But yeah, I'm not eating any actual food until typically about 11 a.m. So the other aspect is macronutrient counting. And if you're going to be doing intermittent fasting, I think it really makes sense to start off also counting your macronutrients, because you still need to consume the right amount of food in your feeding window. If you restrict your food and cut back your calories too much, then your body's going to break down muscle in order to provide fuel. You may lose weight initially, but that isn't going to be sustainable, because if you lose muscle, then your metabolism is going to slow down. So that's going to totally work against having a long-term healthy approach to eating. So macronutrients, for those of you that don't know, include carbohydrates, protein, and fat. And it's pretty easy to get carbs, but it's really important to also get enough fat and protein for our body to function properly. So I use the MyFitnessPal app. I did upgrade to the paid version because it has some options that make it a little bit faster and easier for me to enter my food. But I did start off using the free app, and that worked just fine. And I aim to get about 50% carbohydrates, 30% fat, and 20% protein. And then in addition to that, I also aim to meet the grams of each of those foods that are recommended by MyFitnessPal based on my weight and height and my activity level. And I have actually adjusted that up. I'm eating more food now since I started, because I found that I was still feeling kind of hungry. So typically I consume about 1,900 calories a day, and I am 5'5" and a teeny tiny bit. So that is definitely more than I was eating before I started this program. So yeah, it definitely, we have to kind of get away from that thinking that it's all about calories in and calories out. It's more about eating the right types of foods. So I enter my food into MyFitnessPal, or I try to the night before, and that helps me plan the next day and makes it just, I don't have to think about it. I already know, what my meals are going to be, what my snacks are, and I know that it fits my macronutrient goals for that day. Now that I've been following the plan for a while, it's a little bit more intuitive for me. I know what I need to eat on a high carb and or a low carb and a regular macronutrient day, but I still find it's easier to enter it. I mean, I like variety, and so this way I know that I'm still eating enough food. And I definitely, if I'm going to a social event, or if a family member is making a meal, then I just don't worry about entering, or I don't enter everything for that day. So I definitely make it fit my lifestyle, and it still is giving me good results. So the third important part is carb cycling with my workouts. That means that I have low carb days and I have normal macronutrient days based on the workouts that I'm planning to do. If I wasn't nursing, I would also have lower macro days, but I keep my macro counts up because I want to make sure that I've got enough to fuel my hungry little man. So what that looks like for me, 2 days a week I do cardio. Those days are back to back, and those are low carb days. Low carb is not no carb. Typically it would be less than 50 net grams of carbs. What that means is the amount of carbohydrates that are in MyFitnessPal minus the amount of fiber should equal less than 50 grams on those days. For myself, since I'm nursing, I aim for less than 100 grams because I need more carbs for that. But yeah, MyFitnessPal calculates it all, so it's pretty easy to see. And you still need to eat the same amount of calories. So that means that on those days, I'm meeting my protein goal that MyFitnessPal recommends, and I'm making up the rest of my calories that I need with fat. So low carb means a high fat day. And then the days that I do my strength training, those are regular macro days. So that means I follow the recommendations that are in my FitnessPal. Like I said, I don't do the low macro days, but on my 2 rest days a week, if I wasn't nursing, I would decrease all of my macros by 25% and just do some really non-intensive low-key exercise. So things like yoga or walking that aren't going to be, to give my body a chance to recover. So I know some of you have asked about my workouts. They are all 30 to 45 minutes in length, including about a 5-minute warm-up and cool down, so not super long. I find some days they're shorter, like today when I was trying to do my sprint intervals and my little guy was crying in the stroller. I was like, okay, I guess we're cutting this short and heading home today. But still, we got out for 15 minutes, better than nothing. So cardio makes up 2 of those days, and it's either interval sprints for 20 minutes or a Tabata style high intensity interval training workout. And then the strength training is broken down into 3 days, and it consists of leg, arm, and back days with a little bit of overlap in there. So the goal with these workouts is to maximize fat burn and increase lean muscle and not to overtrain. So that's where the importance of the 2 rest days comes in, and they're strategically placed in between the other days. So there you have it. Is that clear as mud? I know when I started putting this all together, it was a lot. But now it actually makes perfect sense for me, and it really does fit well with my lifestyle. Like I said, I don't restrict myself. I use these things as a guideline. If a workout happens to be short, it's shorter. If I have to miss a day, I miss a day. But in general, this is what I'm aiming to do, and I feel so good that I miss it on the days that I can't fit in those workouts. So I had every excuse in the book when I was trying to get myself back into a routine about why it was just too hard with 4 kids and not getting enough sleep. And I mean, some of those excuses were very valid, but now that I'm doing it regularly, I feel great. So it's just getting started that can be challenging. So if this sounds like something that you'd be interested in trying out, please comment below or send me a message. Feel free to ask me any questions you have as well. I'm happy to share. And starting in a few weeks, I will be offering 2 different program options. My revised signature program called Your Best Life that focuses more on meal plans and nutrition, because that is the foundation that is even more important than exercise. We can't out-exercise a bad diet. So we need to be eating well. We also need to be getting enough sleep before we really focus too much on the exercise part. The other program that's brand new that I'm going to be offering is called The Faster Way to Fat Loss, and that includes 6 weeks of workouts, and there are beginner home options and gym options. So beginner and advanced options, and they change throughout the 6 weeks, so there's lots of variety. You will have those workouts to refer back to even after the 6 weeks are up. And I'll also teach you how to track your macronutrients and how to carb cycle with the workouts. And both of these programs do include a private Facebook group that is run by me, so you have that support and accountability. So I'm really excited to jump back into offering online programs. I have been missing it. I miss the, engaging with my people and seeing the progress that everyone's making, but I'm so excited that it's given me a chance to kind of get these new things up and running. I know that they're going to be really popular, so don't hesitate to let me know if you're interested so that I can let you know when the registration opens. If you aren't sure which program is best for you, then feel free to send me a message and we can talk about it, and I'll give you my honest opinion. So thank you so much for listening. I hope that this has been informative for you, and I promise I will talk to you again soon. Thanks so much for watching.